One.
We recording?
We are live. Well, we're recording, I should say. Not live.
Welcome to the Pivot, everyone. It's Monday, January 25th, 2021. We are the Pivot. I'm live from the Crybaby Hill studio. Julio is in his laboratory out south. How's the juice?
Down in Tierra del Fuego. Yeah, we're good, man. Good.
We're brought to you by Vast Bank. We're executively produced by Toby Biocchini, and we are here to build a DraftKings lineup for the 10-game slate tonight. Huge slate, Juice. What do you think?
Man, it's a big slate, but I think there's going to be a few games we'll probably be able to cross off. So we should be able to condense it to something manageable, I think.
Because of the number of games, let's just go through each game. Let's rank the 10 games by point totals, just so that the listeners know which games are expected to have the most points. And then we can, in doing so, you can talk about some games that you're going to focus on and some games you're going to cross off. What's the highest point total in the 10 games tonight?
The highest point total, I believe, is Celtics and Bulls at 227.5.
So I would not guess that. The Bulls really don't play defense, huh?
I apologize. There's a higher total. The Heat Nets is 236.5.
That's a giant total.
That's a big total. Real big total. I mean, we're talking almost 10 points.
More than the next game.
Yeah, right. You got a few games that are bunched in the 220s. Nuggets, Mavs, 223. Spurs, Pelicans, 223.5. Timberwolves and the Warriors, 225. I love that game.
Which one is that one? Say that one again.
Timberwolves and Warriors.
Oh, how do you not love that game?
Yeah. And then the Thunders and the Blazers, 225.5. Really, there's a lot of games in the night, the sort of the late slate, if you will, that have really high totals. The early games have some of the smaller point totals on the slate. So other than that Heat Nets game, which is 236.5, you could really just go ahead, and this is probably a strategy I'll be employing tonight, is playing most of the players from the later games, giving myself an opportunity to kind of get that late news, and who's in and who's out. Because as you know, with COVID, there's a lot of late breaking news. And if you've got players in those later games, you might be able to pivot from some plays that there's some value that might open up. Like last night, for example, right before lock, Trae Young was ruled out. So, I mean, kind of opened up the window for Rondo, DeAndre Hunter, some other good plays that didn't look so good at the beginning of the day, but looked really good at the end of the day. So that's probably kind of where we'll go. But again, that's. Are
there any games that you're just kind of avoiding tonight?
I'll probably stay away from the Sixers-Pistons game. Probably going to fade the Lakers-Cavaliers completely. While I like LeBron and Anthony Davis, there's a newsflash. They're both questionable tonight.
Man, it's just...
and it's a 213 total, and you got games in the 220s and even one at 236. So that's just too low a point total for me. And I honestly, I don't see the Lakers really working that hard in this game, extending their stars minutes. There's the LeBron narrative going to Cleveland, but without fans in the stands, I just think that narrative kind of loses a little bit of luster.
I would agree with all that. Okay, well, let's start at the point guard position. Noticing tonight that there are literally 3 people over 10,000 at one position. That's definitely a rarity, but you get that with the huge slate. We've got Doncic at 10-7. We got Lillard at 10-3, Harden at 10-2. Lillard's coming off a back-to-back where he dedicated the game to his 2 sons last night and hit his first, 15 shots or something, and ended up – I fell asleep before the end of the game, but he had at least 35 with a good chunk of the fourth quarter to go when I fell asleep. The rest of the guys, I think LeBron's at 9-3, Curry's at 9-2, Irving's 9,000, Brogdon 8-5. There's a lot of ways to spend up at the point guard position if you choose to do so tonight.
Yeah, there's some big news tonight, right? So Kyle Lowry's had a foot infection. So He's questionable. He sat out last night. Tyler Hero's already been ruled out. Kemba Walker's been ruled out, who played yesterday. Goran Dragic is questionable. Derrick Rose is out. Derek White is out. George Hill for the Thunder is out. While that doesn't seem like it's big news, it kind of frees up some minutes for some other guys.
Okay.
Peyton Pritchard from Boston is out. So Pritchard and Kemba are both out. So you would think that would open up some opportunity for Jeff Teague. I don't know about Jeff Teague. We'll talk about him a little bit. Gabe Vincent's questionable. Those are the notable ones, I guess. Spencer Dinwiddie's out for the year. Killian Hayes has been out for a while. Fultz is out for the year. So, you've got quite a bit of injury news that you've got to take into account. So that's kind of what I'm saying. I mean, if you just start off on the point guard position, one guy I forgot to mention, D'Angelo Russell is questionable. And I think the coach said that he expects him to miss tonight's game. So, I mean, that game has already got a huge total. That's going to open up even more value in that game. So again, that's some stuff that we need to take into account.
I watched Minnesota play, put some eyes on the ground the other day, and that kid that McLaughlin, was it?
Yeah.
Good. He's good. Even the other one that we almost played, what was his name? Young guy. Vanderbilt. Good.
He's really.
They both looked really good. They really did. So
it was funny at one point during the game. I was listening to that game too, at the very beginning, and at one point the announcers from Minnesota said, there's a lot of, you might not know this, not a lot of people do, but Jordan McLaughlin's a baller, and I thought that was kind of funny because we spent a lot of time talking about him. He looked really good.
He did look good.
The problem was the coach didn't give him any minutes, but when he was out there, I mean, he looked great. So, but in that game, if D'Angelo Russell sits, man, I'm really gonna like some Ricky Rubio tonight. I'll be I think I'll be firing a little bit of Ricky Rubio at his price tag. Let's look, it's 5,100. I mean, that
surprised me. He didn't really impress me all that much with in the game that Russell was out that I watched that was really high paced.
Okay, I mean here's the deal. They played against I believe it was New Orleans, who is kind of a pace down team, right? He didn't shoot the ball out. He only put up 4 shots, but he had 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, 9 points, 28.25 DraftKings points. I think if he shoots a little bit more tonight and get those peripheral stats up there, I don't see why he couldn't get 35 points tonight. At 5.1 K.
If he got 29 in that New Orleans game where he was completely unnoticeable, and he definitely is capable of a better game.
I agree, and that was the second night of a back-to-back. And again, if D'Angelo Russell is out, I mean, I don't know. I really could see him dropping 35, maybe even getting us a 40 spot and potentially breaking the slate. And I kind of think he's going to be somewhat low owned, man. I mean, maybe I'm wrong on that, but I don't see a lot of ownership going to Ricky Rubio. And Steph Curry's defense is nothing I'm ever worried about. So I kind of like it in the sense that I sort of want to stack that game. And he's obviously in the later portion of the slate. So I don't know. I'm really liking Ricky Rubio. I mean, I love Luka always. I love Dame Lillard tonight again against Oklahoma.
He couldn't take more shots than he took last night. I mean,
and I mean, if you wanted to run it back with Steph Curry on the other side, I wouldn't knock you for that either. So I think as of right now, my favorite play on the slate for point guard, believe it or not, is going to be Ricky Rubio.
I would not have guessed that. So
yeah. Well,
let's jump over the shooting guard position. As we always note, there's a lot of crossover at this position. One of the players that is most notable, just a shooting guard only, is Zach LaVine, playing in that high-paced Boston and Chicago game we mentioned. We've got Brown also playing in that game at 8,500. Russell, we discussed, is likely out. Van Fleet is at 7,900. White, 7,300. Sexton's 7,200. Beasley from Minnesota is 6,600, somebody who had a pretty good game the other night. Wiggins, also part of that game, is 6,500. Anyway, like I said, we have a lot of crossover with the point guards we already discussed, but now we have some shooting guards. What are you thinking about this position tonight, Juice?
It's not as top heavy as point guard. So, I mean, yeah, you've got James Harden obviously at 10-2. I'm not touching James Harden right now. He seems like he's just being way too nice to his new teammates, and he seems to be deferring quite a bit. He hasn't taken over 10 free throw attempts since he's joined the Brooklyn Nets, and for James Harden to really explode, 10 free throw attempts a game, I should say, in a game. For him to explode, he needs to get to the line. He needs to drive. He needs to that supplement his points at the free throw line. If he's not doing that, I don't feel very good about Harden. So I think I'm gonna pass on Harden tonight. Zach LaVine if you remember a couple of nights ago, he was 9,500. He's down to 8,600. But I just think with Jason Tatum being back and Jaylen Brown being there, I'm not in love with his spot tonight. I think they're both pretty good defenders.
I think I'd almost rather play Jaylen Brown, right?
I'd almost rather play Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown blew up the other night. But
he stands out to me as somebody who's in a good spot tonight.
He does, and I'd really love Jaylen Brown if Jason Tatum weren't coming back tonight. That's my biggest room for pause, if you will.
Right.
But I definitely don't. I definitely don't mind him. Another guy that we can kind of save some salary at is Evan Fournier.
Ooh. I mean, if we're talking pure shooting guard, that's Fournier. I mean, there's a guy that doesn't do anything but be a shooting guard.
Right. He is 6,300. He played last night against Orlando and dropped 35 DraftKings points, but he was 5,800. So he got a little bit of a price increase. Another guy I really, really like tonight is Andrew Wiggins for Golden State.
I was going to say Wiggins, but when I say Wiggins, you always say cash game play. I think Wiggins is a great run it back against Rubio.
I do too. I love
if I was going to play Wiggins, sorry to interrupt. I'd likely to play him in the small forward position, most likely.
I was going to say he's a shooting guard and small forward eligible, which we like that type of player because we can play him in a multitude of spots. So I don't mind Andrew Wiggins. There's a little bit of a narrative too. I think he kind of got a raw deal in Minnesota. If you remember, they drafted him. There's
definitely some narrative at play here.
Yeah, and I really do think that Andrew Wiggins kind of. There's talk he was clinically depressed when he was in Minnesota. He did not enjoy his time there, and I could see him kind of, wanting to put it to his old team a little bit. And he's a different player this year, man. So I kind of like him a little bit.
But you're thinking the same thing, most likely playing in the forward position?
We can look at small forward, but he's definitely in consideration. A couple of other plays I like. Malik Beasley, I like at 6,600. It seems a little bit priced up to me. I don't love the play.
He's very likely to have 20 points. It's just all about what he does other than that, right?
Let's look at his – so, last game, he got 29 points. Scored 16 real life points, had 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Those were kind of his peripheral stats. So that's not something I'm in love with. Fred VanVleet, though, if Kyle Lowry's out, don't mind him at all at 7,900. He's do a very good play.
He's really blown up and broke some slates in the past when he's been given the ball to do what he wants. When he's not having I always say his name right. Siakam and Lowry get injured. He seems to have some really big nights. So, okay.
There's a couple other plays I want to mention real quick. Seth Curry is fairly cheap at 5,100.
Okay.
Don't mind him. His minutes should start ramping up a little bit after the COVID stuff. Norman Powell, if he's in the starting lineup for Toronto.
You're a big Powell fan.
I do like Powell. When he starts, I think he's a good play. Josh Jackson is cheap at 4,300. Here's probably one of my favorite plays, though, of the night is Wayne Ellington for Detroit. This kid has been lighting it up. He's got 30, 26, 24, and 32 DraftKings points.
I noticed he's been really common in heads-up matches, being in lineups and cash game heads-up matches.
he's really cheap, man. Here's the problem with Wayne Ellington. And I know Wayne Ellington pretty well because being a Grizzlies fan, he was there a couple years ago. If his shot's not falling, he doesn't do much. So it's kind of feast or famine, but I still
Fournier is the same way. They're just pure shooting guards, right?
Fournier can get there a couple different ways, but he's not as scoring dependent. I would play Fournier if Aaron Gordon sits, but I don't think Aaron Gordon is going to sit tonight. So I think it almost takes Fournier off the table. But Jeff Teague, I mentioned him earlier. He's 3,700.
Well, that's
and
cheap.
If he starts, he's worth consideration. I don't like Jeff Teague, but man, he's got to get some minutes. He's got to get minutes in the 20s, you would think. So,
okay.
But we can go over to shooting guard or small forward, I should say.
Okay. Well, small forward, we mentioned we really like Wiggins, but small forward in the upper echelon, we've got Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Brown is shooting small forward eligible. Simmons is small forward eligible. My man Ingram, who won me a bunch of money the other night, is small forward eligible. Grant, DeRozan. These are Hayward, who's been killing it for us lately.
Yeah.
Tobias Harris, who lost us some money, unfortunately, the other night. Yeah. And then Wiggins again. That's about where we're at. Tell me what you're liking.
There's so many. It's weird because small forward is usually a position I don't like.
It's the hardest position generally to fill, but yeah,
there's a lot that I like at small forward tonight. Really, I think probably what I'm going to do is there's a lot of guys that are small forward, power forward eligible.
Right.
I might try and just get a couple in at small forward and power forward if that makes sense. Like the guys that are dual position eligibility.
Right.
I'll tell you who I really sort of like tonight is Aaron Gordon, man. If he plays tonight, he's been more of a point forward.
I was just going to say, I watched the Orlando play the other night and was shocked to see him basically playing point guard.
Yes. And I don't think he's had an explosion game yet. And I kind of feel like it's coming. And I think tonight might be the night, man. I think a triple double could be in order for this guy. And at 7'6", I don't mind that play at all. So I really like him. You mentioned Gordon Hayward. God, he's just too cheap, man. He's 7,300, and for what he's been doing, he's just been solid with a good ceiling, and they're facing Orlando again.
It's funny because you pick two that aren't small forward, power forward eligible.
Right, I know. That's what I'm saying. I might play these guys at small forward, and then some of the other guys that are small forward, power forward, I can shoot them in on that side. Does that make sense? What I just said?
It does.
Okay. I would say I'm going to assume Aaron Gordon is in.
Okay.
So I want me some Aaron Gordon.
I like it. 7,600 Aaron Gordon.
Yeah.
Okay. A power forward, like I said, we almost have the same cast of characters, but we start adding the centers in too, which that would add Sabonis, Davis, Tatum, who is power forward only. That shocks me that they've determined that Tatum is power forward only.
Right.
Porzingis jumps in there. Siakam, Ingram, as we mentioned. Zion makes an appearance. Grant, we've discussed. DeRozan, we discussed. Hayward, we discussed. I didn't realize they allowed Hayward to be power forward eligible. Yeah. That's interesting.
It is.
That might be a good spot for him tonight. What do you like? By the way, just breaking news: Southern Hills has been announced to be the host for the 2022 U.S. Open.
Very cool.
You heard it here first at the Pivot.
Awesome, man. That's awesome.
Breaking news.
22, huh?
That's next year. Yep.
Wow. I thought it was like 10 years out they announced that stuff.
They took one away from another club. I think it was a Trump-owned club. We won't get into politics, but I'm pretty sure they took a U.S. Open away from a Trump-owned club, and now they're giving it to Southern Hills.
Man, I love that. Cool.
Good for us.
Yeah.
Okay, back at it. We're what are you liking at the power forward spot?
So I if you want to spend up, KD is always in play.
With kind of the players we're liking. Even Rubio and Ellington and Gordon. Even at those, if we've played those players, putting Durant in is going to sink our salary to the point where we're just playing.
Right.
So that's the hard thing about Durant is
build going tonight is the way I'm kind of seeing it.
I was just going to say, I mean, Durant's great for the nights where you have the 3,300 guy that you know is going to score 20 points, right? I mean, on nights that you don't have that, Durant's really hard to play. I mean, that's all there is to it. I mean, Doncic's just hard to play. They're all hard to play once they get $10,000, $11,000. So.
They're all hard to play. But I will tell you, there's some value that I like tonight. And this is one of those spots. So I'm going to throw it back, a little throwback action here. Watched him play last night. Looked okay. But Portland's got an injury that's going to be somewhat key, and Robert Covington is out. So I like me some Carmelo Anthony tonight. 4,600. He's going to get some run. He's going to be chucking. It's him and Dame. I'm going to be scoring the basketball.
I watched him play last night. He couldn't look older if he tried.
I mean, he got 26 minutes.
It was like, hey, look, there's a bunch of good basketball. There's a bunch of good basketball players, and then there's this dude that looks like he might have used to be good at basketball. It's like they let your old uncle play in the game, and you hype him up that everything he does is like great because he's so old that when he does something great, they think it's even greater, right? Like.
If you don't like that play right in that same price range,
eyes on the ground it's hard to get anybody else to get another shot off other than Lillard on that team right now.
Well, I mean
he shot the ball just every time he touched it. It was amazing.
He did. But I mean, he can't score 150 points. You know, maybe he could.
I was going to say, don't tell him that. Well.
But I mean,
we'll spend the evening watching him try to do it, dedicating it to the Twins.
In the grand scheme of things,
please don't underestimate the power of having twins. Can do on a human being.
I hear you, man. I hear you. I would say Isaiah Roby is fairly safe.
I like Roby. We talked about Roby the other day. We watched him play. We had him in the lineup. He's definitely getting minutes. I wish he was a little bit more aggressive, right? Like. I just feel like he's another one that just sometimes is placeholding, but he got there for us the other night. And at 4'9", it's not hard. 4'6", it's not hard to get there. I think.
No, it's not. It's not.
Especially with Portland on a back-to-back.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't mind Isaiah Roby tonight. Got another play we're going to use tonight. So power forward. So Isaiah Roby, I'm going to throw in some Carmelo. I know you don't like that play, but I am. And then I wouldn't mind going right back to Gordon Hayward. The only thing is I think Aaron Gordon can match up with him a little bit better defensively. So I don't love him as much as I did when Aaron Gordon was out. So I think I'm going to stay away from him tonight.
By the way, North Carolina's uniforms isn't doing Hayward any favors. I mean, he couldn't look wider. I mean, that literally couldn't look wider.
Charlotte, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, Charlotte's uniforms they were wearing some off-brand, some city edition the other night, and he just looked like a blob mass of flesh color running out there. Right. It's
kid can ball though, man. I'll tell you that.
He wasn't the target market when they came up with the color of jerseys that they came up with.
Probably. As
a also very pale person, I can relate to you just can't wear some colors, So anyway, okay, back at it. What you were telling me who you liked.
Oh yeah, another play I kind of like tonight is DeMar DeRozan a little bit, but I do like Brandon Ingram up at 8,000. I think that's a fair price tag for him.
I've noticed in the past several years playing NBA DK that the team we play the least amount of plays from is San Antonio, 100%. I don't know why that is, but
you know why that is?
Why?
Because Greg Popovich is NASA. He comes up with these rotations that make no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to
coach. He's a great coach, but he literally he's like the Bill Parcells of the NBA, dude. He loves to F with reporters. He loves to F with gamblers. I mean, he does whatever the hell he wants to do. And I mean, he literally will not play a guy because you tell him, that you need to play a guy. That's the kind of guy that he is. So I tend to stay away from San Antonio guys a lot.
It just seems to be a natural thing.
What's that?
It seems to just be a natural thing.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's just his personality. And he's a great coach, but he just does things. You're just like, huh? But anyway, like I do like some Brandon Ingram, so I don't mind that play. I like him a lot more than Zion tonight.
What about Wiseman tonight?
Well, he's set. Is he power forward, center
Oh,
eligible?
I'm sorry, I forgot we were just at power forward. My bad.
Yeah, we can go over to center now. Let's do center.
Sounds good.
I love Jokic. 10-8 is kind of.
Let's go just to give some prices here. We got Jokic at 10-8. We've got Sabonis 9-8. We've got Embiid, who's questionable again at 9-7. Davis, who will be questionable for the entire 2021 season. We've got Drummond. We got a lot of good centers. We got Vooch, who we play a lot. We got Bam coming off a huge game. We got Porzingis getting healthy. We've got Zion playing well. So a lot at the center. We got your boy Boucher that you start all the time.
Yeah.
Canner looked good last night. Naz Reid looked great against New Orleans with Towns out. We got a lot.
Just pulling up Jokic's numbers, and he is just a beast this year. So there's an injury we got to keep track of. Looks like Joel Embiid might sit.
Okay.
If he sits, I might just lock in, our boy Dwight Howard.
Okay.
4,200. Detroit's got nobody that can stop him down low. I mean, Mason Plumlee might foul out in like 6 minutes.
Detroit's the 30th ranked team against centers this year.
Yeah, I mean, Dwight Howard he might not score you 20 points, but I can see him getting 10 points, 12, 13 rebounds, easy double, a few blocks in there, 25 to 30 DraftKings points if Embiid's out. So I'm going to lock him in as of right now. Sabonis just seems a little too expensive against Toronto. AD, I just don't want to play. Drummond is cheap. However, it seems like they're kind of splitting minutes with Jared Allen now that he's there. So his minutes aren't as secure as they've been. Bam really paid off for us last game. He scored 40-something real-life points.
Yeah, he just killed it.
He killed it. Miles Turner at 7,400 has been playing out of his mind.
There's a lot of good power. That's the problem with the NBA. There's a lot of good players these days.
There really are. A guy sort of like is Montrezl Harrell at 5,600 against Cleveland. I think they're going to need him with Allen and Drummond a little bit more. So I don't mind that play. Jared Vanderbilt, 5K. I like the kid. I just wish he was a little bit cheaper. I'd much rather play Dwight Howard if he's starting at that spot. Here's a guy that's interesting. They're not giving Cody Zeller much run, but if he somehow gets 20 to 25 minutes, man, $3,300 tonight. I love that play. And I don't know if you remember last pod, we talked about Boban Marjanovic.
Yes, we did.
Well,
how do you?
He dropped 31 DraftKings points that night, so 10x the salary.
Wow, good for us.
Yeah, we didn't play him, but we talked about him. We talked about how he was in a good spot. He might get some run tonight against Joker. So 3,300. I mean, if that's all you got salary wise, and that's the last spot in, he's worth a flyer, man. But I think Dwight Howard is safer tonight. I'd much rather play Dwight Howard at 4,200. And that's under the assumption that Embiid's out.
Right. Okay, so for the listeners, I put Howard in our lineup right now, and we're going to have him in the lineup that we make today. But Juice will tweet out the final lineups. Today? About 5:40 today, about 5:30ish today. And he's very good at making sure that we know that who's in and who's out. So if Embiid does play, we'll get Howard out. So going from there. Okay, well, let's start building this lineup. What I've got to just tell you, and you see what you agree with so far, I've got Rubio at the point guard. Mm-hmm. I've got Wayne Ellington at the shooting guard. Don't love Wayne, but I put him in just to see how things worked out. I've got Aaron Gordon at the point guard small forward spot. I've got Roby at power forward center. Howard at center, and Wiggins at guard.
Okay.
We have 2 spots left, and we've got all the money in the world, it seems like. We've got still 17,800 left.
Yeah, we do have a lot of money, huh? So we got 8,900 per remaining player.
Correct. I like Sabonis tonight. Well, God, that's such expensive Sabonis. I mean, Tatum play coming. Well, I like to wait and see on players coming back from injury. Ingram against San Antonio. I love Ingram. He's one of my favorite players in the NBA. But him playing San Antonio just always concerns me.
So here's what I'm trying.
I have to admit, I don't have any real strong feelings on who we need to stuff in the lineup here.
I do.
Well, that's why you're here. That's why we.
Let's see. So, let's see if we can do this.
Uh-oh. Did something change? Can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
Julio?
I can hear you.
It said something on my screen. Said something about my screen about some microphone changing, so I got nervous.
Okay, no, I think you're good. Oh man, thought that was going to work fit like a glove.
It didn't work out.
Well, so I want to get Lillard in, and I want to run it back with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Okay, you cut out there. So I heard you want who at forward?
I want Lillard in.
Ooh, I like that.
And I want to run it back in the utility spot with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
So how did we get Lillard in? We put Wiggins at the forward position?
Yes, at the forward utility spot.
Okay. And then we put Lillard at guard.
Yeah.
And we put SGA. Oh, why can't I find SGA?
Shai, SHAI.
Oh, because that leaves us a bunch of money left over, right?
A little bit. We're gonna have to.
I'm not a huge Wayne Ellington fan. Do we want to pay it?
Well, see, here's what I did. I got Ricky Rubio at point guard, Jeff Teague at shooting guard, Aaron Gordon at small forward. Power forward is where we need.
Hold on. We got what at power forward?
That's where we can't quite fit in Roby at 46. We got 4,500 left over. I'm just looking to see if there's someone other than Wiggins we can throw in there.
What about Ellington? Oh, we got rid of Ellington.
Is Ellington just shooting guard eligible? Hold on.
Yeah. I don't love Ellington. I'm saying we should get rid of Ellington. Is what I say.
So we got Jeff Teague shooting guard.
And we love Gordon, right? Even though he's questionable.
I do love Gordon. I think it was just a rest thing that he was on.
Yeah.
We don't have to play Wiggins. I mean, I like Wiggins, but price tag
it's a good matchup for Wiggins. I like the narrative, though.
Yeah, I do like the narrative. I'm not typically a narrative guy, but I like narratives when it fits the game script. And I mean, this is going to be an up and down game. And I mean, I just think he's going to just feast. So
we could get off Rubio, but you like Rubio, so
I do like Rubio. I just think he's just in a really, really good spot.
Well, let's put this together because I know you're going to tinker with it before tip off here, and then we'll go to some over-unders here so we can make some money.
Let's for right now. No, I don't even want to do that. Let's see. Let me look at this guy real quick. Let's see what he's been doing. Yeah, let's plug in Miles Bridges. Power
forward. Yeah, at power forward.
Yeah, we got 33 minutes last game, so I like that. It's a little bit of a run back with Aaron Gordon.
And then we're playing who at the other Wiggins?
You can go Wiggins. We
We
actually,
still have fun.
I like it because it gives us a little bit of salary flexibility.
Okay, well, I'll save that. Let me know on any changes. Going to be watching that Gordon injury big time. We'll be watching the Embiid status. That will be big. We're going to have a ton of players probably here for the over/under segment. So I'm going to go through these really fast.
Let's fly through it, man. We're not. I mean, we'll be able to pick out 10 pretty quick.
Yeah, we got 10 bets we're going to make. Like. Yeah. So how I'm going to name them. You remember the fade like. So we're throwing love out. We're going fade, like, or smash.
Okay.
Smash is the big bet. Like is a bet, the other bet, and fade is don't bet. So I'm going to go through them pretty quickly. As you know, the nationally televised games will have more stats to deal with. Quickly, though. Hornets at Magic, we got Hayward at 22.5. Rozier at 17.5.
Let's go under on Rozier. He's been playing like absolute ass this last couple of weeks.
That will be our first under bet here on the game show, like love or smash. Okay, nothing on Hayward and the 22.5 we're fading. Okay. Orlando, they have Vooks at 22.5, Gordon at 16.5, Fournier at 17.5.
Let's do Gordon smash.
I like it. The good thing about this is on these bets, if Gordon doesn't play, then the bet will be voided. On the 76ers Pistons game, we got Harris at 18.5, which is the same number he was at the other night. Grant at 22.5.
You know, Grant's been in a little bit of a shooting slump. I kind of like him to bounce out of it a little bit.
Maybe finally get fresh there.
Yeah. Kind of.
If Embiid is out, I probably will take Harris again at 18.5. He should have covered that number. He had 12 at half. He just never got back in the game was the problem. He got back in the game so long he didn't do much. Okay, Indiana Raptors, Brogdon's 21.5, Sabonis is 20.5.
I don't like either one of them.
Fading both.
Yeah.
Lakers at Cavs, we got LeBron James at 25.5, Anthony Davis at 24.5 on the LA side. On the other side,
I think I like LeBron.
Over?
Yeah.
Boy, he shot a lot the other night.
Yeah.
On the other side of that game, we got Sexton at 20.5 and Drummond at 16.5. Bad matchup for Drummond.
It's a bad matchup for Drummond. I agree.
Yeah. Sexton I could see, but what do you think on that?
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at about it too. Heat at Nets, we got Bam Adebayo at 22.5. That's the highest I've ever seen Bam by about 3 points.
I mean, it kind of tells you, it almost screams fade, but I sort of think we should stay away.
Yeah, it just seems, and this is a nationally televised game, so we've got.
It seems like a trap line to me.
He's got rebounds at 10.5 and he's got assists at 5.5. I feel like if I bet anything, I'd probably bet the assists, right?
Yeah.
Dragic is 18.5, 5.5 with the points and assists. Yeah, it's kind of how I feel about it too.
Yeah.
Duncan Robinson over 16.5, over 3.5 3-pointers made.
I don't want to touch that.
He's been playing like dirt. Kevin Durant, 27.5, 6.5, 4.5, 2.5 3-pointers.
I love the 27.5 points.
I like it. He had that by like third quarter.
Yeah.
The other night.
I guess I should say smash.
Smash. Thank you for the game title. Yes. Irving is 24.5, 4.5, 4.5, 2.5 3-pointers. Okay. Fade. Harden is 23.5, 6.5, 10.5, 2.5 threes. 10.5 assists, huh?
Man.
Vegas thinks we should probably play Harden tonight.
What's the points?
23.5.
Wow. I think it's a trap.
I don't like him either. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the Spurs at Pelicans. On the Spurs side, they have DeRozan at 20.5. And on the Pelicans side, we got Zion at 20.5, 24.5, and Ingram at 23.5. Ingram the other night, who we smashed, had 17 at half. Did you watch that game?
Yeah, against Minnesota.
Yeah, you know how many he had in the third quarter?
What, 6?
0.
Oh God.
And then killed it in the last 5. He finished with like 32.
Ingram to me, like, I don't know what it is about Ingram, but he just looks like he's stoned the whole time he's out there.
He literally can score whenever he wants.
I mean, he's like,
it's like he lets everybody shoot a few shots and then he goes scores. I mean, I swear that's how it works.
Yeah,
he could literally score at will. I don't know why he just doesn't. It's amazing how basketball is a team sport. If basketball was more individualized, and this whole concept that other people needed to shoot, if they just designated Ingram as the all-time scorer on that team, they would literally win more games.
He reminds me of Richard Dumas. Remember that dude?
Yes, that's a good comparison.
And he's like just all the talent in the world, but just,
he cares when he wants to care.
Yeah.
Okay, but back to them. 24.5 for Zion is a tough number. Like I said, Zion is capable of 18 every night if he chooses. 23.5.
I like the Ingram over.
You do?
Yeah.
Even at San Antonio?
Yeah. San Antonio is not good defensively anymore. They're not a good defensive team.
Okay. I love he's, like I said, he's one of my favorite players, so I don't mind taking it. Okay, so moving on to Celtics at the Bulls, a high-scoring game. Jaylen Brown is at 25.5. Tatum's at 22.5. Levine's at 25.5. Markkanen's at 16.5. And White's at 15.5.
All those guys are just so hot or cold, man.
It's really they did a good job of picking the numbers.
I think I'll fade this one, man.
Even Levine? Yeah. Especially Levine.
Yeah.
Nuggets at Mavericks. Jokic is 23.5 and Jalen Murray's 20.5.
I like Jokic on the over. He's playing at another level right now.
Even scoring wise?
Yeah, dude, he's so good. Nobody in Dallas is going to stop him.
On the other side, Doncic is 27.5, Porzingis is 20.5, and Hardaway's 16.5.
I like Luka, man. I mean, I think he does pretty well against Denver.
Okay, that's a tough matchup for 27.5.
You got to remember, he was 31 like last week.
Okay, Thunder at Trailblazers. We got couple more games after this. One more game after this. Or actually, no, this is it. We just have a lot to pick up. This must be nationally televised. We've got, lots of stuff here. Malik Beasley, 20.5, 4.5, 3.5. Oh, so that's points, rebounds, three-pointers made.
You're talking about Minnesota, Portland, right?
Yep. No, Minnesota. Oh, did I skip? Okay, I skipped one. I'm sorry. I skipped one. Thunder at Trailblazers. SGA is 22.5.
I like SGA tonight a lot.
Smash. It's just the word we use when you want me to bet a lot of money on it.
Smash.
Lillard is 33.5. That's so much. So much.
I kind of want to smash it too, man.
I think I have to fade. You want it? I will like it. I'm not smashing it. I could be wrong, but 33.5 is so hard to get to.
That's a lot.
Okay. So now we're on to the nationally televised Timberwolves Warriors game. Beasley, there's a lot here. Beasley's 20.5, 4.5, and a 3.5 3-pointers.
I don't like any of it.
Yeah. Curry is 29.5, 5.5, 5.5, 4.5 3-pointers made.
Sounds like maybe we should play some Curry tonight.
They like Curry. I don't know if I like Curry all that much.
I like Curry. I like his matchup.
I think they could blow him out, though. I mean,
I see that's what gives me some pause too.
Yeah.
I would say the what's the 3-pointers?
4.5.
Let's hit the over in 3-pointers.
Okay. Ooh, hold on.
There's nobody's gonna get in his way.
I gotta bet this and come back. Sorry. We hit our 10 max, but we got more bets to make. So let's get in there. Okay, let's finish this game off. Curry, we like 4.5 3-pointers is what we're saying.
Yes.
I kind of like the assists for Curry too. What do you think about that?
What is it? 4.5?
5.5.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Yeah, I'll
Like
probably
it.
fade. I might stay away. You didn't love it. Okay. Especially so Wiggins is 17.5, 5.5, 1.5 3-pointers made to finish off the night. I'm definitely taking the over on points, right?
Yeah. I like the
think
1.5 3-pointers, man.
you like that too.
I could see him dropping 2 tonight.
Okay. Well, let me put this bet up. Nope. Sorry, guys. I hit the wrong button, which I'm known for. Get this last bet in here. 3-point over.
I'll be chopping this up in the next like hour and a half and just make sure where everything's at. But I like where the lineup is. I think we've talked it over pretty well.
I agree. Okay, we need to win some money tonight because I lost some money on my rogue venture with JD Barrett last night. Okay, we got Rozier under 17.5. We got Gordon. We loved over 16.5. We've got Grant. We liked at 22.5. Right. Durant. We loved at 27.5. LeBron. We liked at 25.5. Jokic, we loved at liked at 23.5. Doncic, we liked at 27.5. Ingram, we liked at 23.5. Gilchrist got the extra smash tonight. I gave him the extra. He got the biggest bet of the night.
I like it, man. He's going to explode.
22.5. Lillard got it at 33.5. Curry, I accidentally bet under 4.5 3-pointers. We want over.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get that switched. And Wiggins over and both on points and 3-pointers made.
Cool.
Okie doke, man. Let's good luck to us.
Yeah, we got a 3-game slate tomorrow. Should be easy.
Tomorrow.
I'll be traveling, but maybe in the afternoon.
Quick, maybe just quick lineup to let us know. But the 10-game slates, we're always going to be here for you. So we'll try to get one in tomorrow, but hopefully tonight.
Like and subscribe.
Please like and subscribe. We got some T-shirts.
I put up some polls too every day, so just make sure you're hitting the polls, voting on those.
Participate in our social media. If you want a T-shirt, and I haven't already told you that I'm sending you one, and you're a small female of stature, we have a lot of small sizes. The bigger sizes are pretty much accounted for. We have a lot of larges, maybe a few extra larges left. But yeah, if you need a T-shirt, let us know. We'll try to get you one.
Yeah, we're at the pivot, the number 3 on Twitter. So
that's
find us on Twitter.
3 of us, even though 2 of us are working. The other one.
Yeah.
So
this has been fun.
Yeah, good breakdown. I like what you're doing tonight. I'll look forward to some of the news here in the next hour. And
yeah, man.
We'll let them know. Sounds good.
Sounds good, man. Take it easy. Have a good one.